everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be making the happy rainbow square for the Unicorn Dreams blanket crochet along. Now, if this is your first visit to my channel, it would be amazing if you just took a moment to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Now, all the information for this crochet square is available over on Lisa's website, CuteCrochetMakes. I will link to it in the description box below. There you'll find the yarn colours, the yarn brand, the hook sizes, and a free downloadable PDF with this complete pattern. There are also timestamps in the description box below, which means that you can jump to any section of the pattern that you like immediately, and you can cut out anything that you don't want or need to watch. So without further ado, let's crack on and we can make this absolutely adorable little happy rainbow crochet square. If you are a seasoned crocheter, a total pro, or you have a particular way that you like to do a solid granny square, then you are free to race ahead. So what I need from you is a 6 round solid granny square, and then do not cut your yarn, but come back here and we can do round 7, this top edge together. So if you're confident crocheter and you don't need the sort of walk through instructions for doing a solid granny square, you crack on, meet me back here in a minute, and the timestamp is in the description box below for you to jump straight to the beginning of row 7. However, if you would like to stick around and we can crochet the first few rounds of this together, then hang fire, let me grab my yarn and my hook and we can begin. Okay, so with my 4mm hook and my clematis yarn, I'm going to go ahead and make a magic ring. Now, if you don't know how to do a magic ring, I have a video on how to do that in the description box below, or a little card should have popped up here. And again, for the double crochet stitch that we are about to do, I also have a video on how to do that stitch. So we're going to start with a chain 5, which counts as your first double crochet, and a chain 2. Then you're going to place 3 double crochet into the magic ring. Now, if at any point I am going too fast, you can use the 3 dots at the top right of your video, the settings, to slow the speed, or indeed you can, of course, pause and rewind the video. So we're going to chain 2 and place 3 more double crochet into the magic ring. Chain 2, 3 double crochet. Chain 2 and place 2 double crochet into the ring, because of course that chain 5 counts as your first double crochet and chain 2, so you only need to end with 2 double crochet. Then we're going to slip stitch to the 3rd chain of this initial chain 5 that you did. So down here, 1, 2, 3. If you can't find your 3rd chain, don't worry too much. You just want to sort of be aiming for the top whilst leaving a couple of chains free to act as your corner space. So once you've joined with a slip stitch, you are free to tighten up that magic ring at the back. Then go ahead and slip stitch into that chain 2 space, ready to begin round 2. Now round 2 starts the same way with a chain 5, which counts as your first double crochet and chain 2. And then into the same space where you just slip stitched and chained from, you're going to place 2 double crochet. Now shunt those around a little bit so you can clearly see these stitches here, and you're going to place 1 double crochet into each of these 3 double crochet from the round below, so going under the top of each stitch. So you'll have 3 double crochet stitches across the side here. Then you're at your corner space, and a corner is formed with 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, all into that same chain 2 space. Now you see how these 2 double crochet are covering up the top of this one here, so shunt them around to give yourself a bit more room, and then you're going to pop a double crochet into each of those 3 double crochet from the round below. We're back at a corner now, so 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, all into that same chain 2 space. Give them a tug around and place a double crochet into each of these 3 from the row below. Back at a corner, so 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, all into that same chain 2 space. Pull them back around again, and you can see you have quite clearly 2 double crochet tops here, and then here where you slip stitch joined to that chain 3, you almost want to be putting that final double crochet almost under that slip stitch there. So you're essentially working into that chain 3 from the row below. And then to finish the round, you're going to end with 1 double crochet back into this original chain 2 space and slip stitch to the 3rd chain of that chain 3, chain 5, sorry, and then slip stitch into the chain 2 space. So I'll show you one more round so that you get the general gist of a solid granny square. So again, chain 5, which counts as your first double crochet, and chain 2, and pop 2 double crochet into that same corner space. And now, just like before, you're going to double crochet into each of these double crochet stitches from the round below. Now you had 3 down here, but each time you do another round, each side section grows by 4 stitches. So your corners grow by 4 stitches. So for this round, you'll have 7. On the next round, you'd have 11, and so on. So it's always 4 stitches more than you went into on the round below. Then when you're back to your corner, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, all into that same chain 2 space. Don't forget to shunt your corners around a little bit so you can clearly see all your stitches from the row below, and just repeat that all the way around. So double crochet into each of your double crochet stitches, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet into each of these chain 2 spaces, and I will meet you back here so we can finish off the round. So to finish the round, you're going to end with 1 double crochet back into this chain 2 space where you started and slip stitch to the 3rd of that chain 5. So the 3rd chain of your initial 5 chains that you did. Then slip stitch into the chain 2 space itself, ready to begin the next round. So I need 6 rounds in total. You've just done 3, so I need 3 more of these. Each time, as I said, your sides will grow by 4 more stitches. So you go ahead and do 6 more rounds. Do not cut your yarn and meet me back here for round number 7. Okay, I am just finishing up my 6th round here. And I'm going to finish off with a double crochet and slip stitch to my 3rd chain. Now do not break your yarn. Slip stitch into the chain 2 space. And you're done with the solid granny round. So you should have 6 rounds of a solid granny square. Now, don't worry too much if it is starting to twist at this point. You can see mine's got a bit wonky. That's fine. You can block it at the end if it really bothers you. But what I've found with Lisa's solid squares is the minute the appliques are sewn on to your square, it really helps sort out that twist and it doesn't really look too warped. So like I say, don't panic if it's twisting. That's the nature of a solid granny if you're not turning in the rounds. After a few rounds, it just wants to whoop. So don't panic. All right, round 7. You've slip stitched into the chain 2 space. So you're in the corner ready to begin this round. Now you're going to chain 1. Pop a single crochet into that chain 2 space, chain 2, and then pop 2 more single crochets into that same chain 2 space. Now you're going to place a single crochet into every double crochet stitch all the way along, and in the corners you are going to place 2 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochet. So we're going to go ahead and whiz around this round and I will meet you back here to finish off the 7th round. Don't forget to move your corners around if they are covering your beginning stitches. So remember, in the corners, 2 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochet, give them a shove and continue down the line. Okay, so I am nearly done with my single crochet across the top. There we go. And to finish the round, you're going to end with a single crochet back into that original chain 2 space, and you're going to join with a slip stitch to the top of the very first single crochet that you did. So we're now done with the solid granny square. So chain 1, grab your scissors, cut yourself a decent long tail, pull it up, pull it tight, weave in that end, give it a smush about, and now we can move on to the rainbow. Okay, rainbow time. So staying with the 4mm hook, grab your first colour, which will be Wisteria, and pop a slip knot onto your hook. Then we're going to chain 10. Then into the second chain from your hook, you're going to place 2 single crochet, both into the same stitch. Then single crochet into the next, followed by 2 single crochet to the chain after that. And we're going to repeat this all the way down the remainder of the chain. So single crochet, increase, which is 2 single crochet in the same stitch, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, all the way down. All right, so you should have a curly little thing that's trying to get away from you, but more importantly, you will have 14 stitches. So we're done with the wisteria now, so you can chain 1, snip your yarn, drop your scissors, pull it up and pull it tight. Now go ahead and grab clematis. So you want to keep the right side of your work facing you. So your tails from your slip knot and your chain 1 will be on the left. So we're going to be joining to the very first stitch we did. Now the easiest way to find that is we have 14 stitches in this first row. So count backwards from that very last stitch. So it's 14s down here, so it's kind of tucked away. So pop your hook underneath those 2 loops, pop a slip knot on your finger and then onto your hook. And draw that loop through to the front, ready to begin row 2. Okay, so we're going to chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and in the same stitch you're going to place 2 single crochet. Now it gets a bit tight. That's 1 and that's 2. Single crochet to the next stitch. Now you're going to repeat all the way down across all of the 14 stitches, including these 2 obviously. You're going to do an increase, which is 2 single crochet in the same stitch, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, all the way down, and at the end of this row you will have 21 stitches. So you'll see it's kind of curling away from me now, which is what we want because it is a rainbow. So you're going to chain 1, turn, ready to begin round 3. Okay, round 3 is a nice easy one. You are going to place 1 single crochet in all 21 stitches. Now don't forget this little one at the end, so I advise counting your stitches as you go. So we want 21 single crochet stitches, 1 in every stitch. So 21st stitch, let's chain 1. We're done with clematis now. Snip your yarn, pull it up, pull it tight, and grab sherbet for round 4. Okay, so we are going to turn our work. Pop your hook through that very first stitch, slip knot with sherbet, and draw the loop through to the front of the stitch. So for round 4, you're going to chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and you're going to place 2 single crochet immediately into that very same stitch. So you're going to increase in that very first stitch. Now you are going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Then increase. So you're going to do this all the way along, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, all the way to the end, and you will have 28 stitches. Don't forget that very last single crochet tends to be hidden. And then for row 5, you're going to chain 1, turn and place a single crochet in each of your 28 stitches from the round below. So at this point you might want to just double check your stitch count. Okay, I've got 28. I worried for a second there, I only had 27. But I've got 28, so we're good. So we're done with sherbet. So as before, chain 1, snip your yarn, pull it up, pull it tight, turn your work and grab spring green. So just as before, hook under that very last stitch or the very first stitch on your row, however you want to view it. Get that spring green on your hook and pull it through. Okay, chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and we're going to place 2 single crochet immediately into that very same stitch. Now we're going to single crochet in the next 3 stitches, then increase. So single crochet in 3 stitches, increase all the way along, and at the end of this row you will have 35 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, then increase. So you'll end with just 3 single crochet. And for round 7, chain 1, turn your work and pop a single crochet in each of the 35 stitches. Once you have your 35 stitches, chain 1, cut your yarn, pull it up, pull it through, and grab your yellow. Okay, turn your work, pop your hook under that first stitch of the row, last stitch that you just did, and attach your yellow. Chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and place 2 single crochet into that stitch. Now you are going to place a single crochet in the next 4 stitches, then an increase. So 4 single crochet, increase all the way down, and at the end of this row you will have 42 stitches. So 4 single crochet, increase. Row 9, chain 1, turn your work and place a single crochet in each of your 42 stitches. Once you've done your 42nd stitch, chain 1, cut your yarn, pull it up, pull it tight, turn your work, pop your hook in underneath that first stitch and grab your apricot colour. Just like before, make a slip knot, pop it on your hook and draw that loop through. Chain 1, which does not count as a stitch. Place 2 single crochet into that very same stitch. Now for this round, it is 5 single crochets, then an increase. So 5 single crochet over 5 stitches, then increase. At the end of this row, you will have 49 stitches. So 5 single crochet, then increase. For row 11, chain 1, turn and place a single crochet in each of your 49 stitches. All right, it's my 49th stitch. Chain 1, snip your yarn, you know the drill by now. Pull it up, pull it tight, turn your work and grab our final colour, candy floss. Just as we have been doing, pop candy floss onto your hook, draw it through and chain 1, which does not count as a stitch. Now for rows 12 and 13, so the next 2 rows, it is a repeat of what you have just done. So single crochet into all 49 stitches over to here, chain 1, does not count, turn, and 49 single crochets all the way back down to here. So you'll have 2 rows of candy floss. Now when you get to the end of that second row, so row 13, do not cut your yarn. Wait for me. I will be right there and I will tell you exactly what you do, because we need this tail to sew this whole bad boy up. So you go ahead and do 2 rounds in candy floss of 49 stitches each. Okay, so that is my last stitch for row 13. So now you're going to chain 1 and you need a tail long enough to sew around this entire rainbow. So make sure you give yourself a really long, generous tail. Then cut your yarn, pull that through, pull it tight, move it to one side for a minute, and we're just going to crochet the cheeks. For the cheeks, you want to be using a 3mm crochet hook and your candy floss again, and you want to make 2 of these. So they're really quick and simple to make. With a magic ring, you're going to go ahead and chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and you're going to place 6 single crochet into this magic ring. So once you've got your 6 single crochet, you can tighten up the magic ring a little bit, but not all the way closed. And you're going to join with a slip stitch to your very first single crochet of the round. then you are free to tighten up that magic ring at the back. Now you're going to chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and you're going to place 2 single crochet, so an increase into each of these 6 single crochets. So at the end of this round you will have 12 single crochet. Once you've got your 12 single crochet, you can join to the very first single crochet of the round, chain 1, grab your scissors, get a length of yarn long enough to sew your little cheek to your rainbow with, pull that loop tight, double check that magic ring, and then we can move on to assembly. So don't forget you need 2 of these little cheeks. Now for the assembly, I've gone ahead and I have already sewn on 1 little cheek to my rainbow, and my second one will be sewn on around about here. Let me just pan up fractionally. And you can see I have pinned my rainbow in place on the diagonal. So this is my, oops, this is the long tail from finishing this rainbow, which I'm going to use to sew my large rainbow to this square with. So this, as you can see, if it's all pinned in place, when it's neatly sewn on, it will almost block this solid square, which is why I was saying earlier, didn't need to worry too much about it being twisted. Sew on the cheeks, embroider the little face. The instructions on how to do that are in the PDF, which is free to download from Lisa's website on CuteCrochetMakes, and then sew invisibly the large rainbow to your granny square. Now I do have a video, if you haven't already seen it, on how to sew so that your stitches will not show through at the back. So I'll pop a link to that one as well, and a little card may have popped up. But other than that, you are pretty much there with the crochet side. It's just a bit of sewing and a bit of assembly at this point. So I hope you enjoyed making your happy rainbow square that I totally forgot what it was called and just had to turn over my notes. It's been a long filming day. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to shout in the comment section below. And it'd be amazing if you gave this video a thumbs up or perhaps a little share amongst your friends so they too can make a happy rainbow square. So until next time, I'll see you again very soon. Happy crocheting!